Since making my first demo for Sony 2 days ago, I've spent my time thinking about how a project like this should be approached. Bloodborne is a world that allegorizes naturally to animation. Its digital infrastructure and creature design are strengths that can be fully realized through this medium, rather than potential limitations through live action. The risk with adapting something like Bloodborne is over-explaining it. Its strength lies in what it doesn't tell the player, or in this case, the audience, such is the case with all of Hidetaka Miyazaki's Soulsborne games. My experience isn't limited to cutting finished footage, as I've accrued skills that are highly valuable within the animation industry. I'm used to working from script into storyboard and vice versa, managing pace at that stage where all the ideas for the film start to really take shape. I also operate within the role of director, ensuring the work within a day's filming or planning ends up being both productive and innovative. Through university and into my own professional collaborative projects, I've worked on scripts for productions, seeing them through to the complete end of the process. And most important of all, I made good coffee. A large part of my editing work is syncing performance and making sure that vocals, visuals, and rhythm all go together beautifully. I work regularly with Foley and effort sounds as well, which has led me to seeing editing less as just cutting out and more as if I'm building a jigsaw with a beat, and I have to get both the picture and the beat correct. And that's where my sense of pacing comes from, after the past 4 years. Bloodborne and its Soulsborne sibling titles force the player to explore their story through systemic mystery, and their world through perseverance and persistence. When you replace that player agency with an authored experience, in this case transforming an interactive world into something passive, creating a trial and error and exploratory formula for discovery just simply can't work. Film has to replace the system with something equivalent. So a scriptwriter, a director, an editor has to be even more creative when it comes to forging this window into Bloodborne's new story. If it were a pre-existing story that we'd already experienced throughout the events of the game, then this creativity could shine through as something like references or cryptic dialogue or even cryptic composition. However, if the directing minds decide to allow the audience a new and fresh turn of events, then first the process will have to form roots in its original setting before any creative liberties or innovations are allowed to be taken. Ultimately, my approach to translating Bloodborne is not to go about it literally. It's about preserving the principles that define it through this transition to a new medium. It means letting the shadows do the talking rather than bringing everything into the light, somewhat akin to how negative space is used in the painting world. This project will be about how Bloodborne can be expressed differently while not changing what it is at its core. And that is, from what I understand, a big responsibility in Sean McLaughlin's role as co-producer. And that's the kind of approach I'd bring to this work.